Yeah, it is kind of odd. But we are live as of right now. And of course, there's going to be just a little bit of a delay. Go ahead and turn the computer down if you're just joining us, or I hope you didn't run off in all of that crazy confusion, because it was it was nuts. It's fine. I just was like, who is that voice? But it was just kind of crazy. I didn't really know what was going on. As far as all that is concerned, I mean, we just kind of dropped off of the map. But as of right now, I'm not seeing where we're showing up yet.
I see you.
Oh, you see me? Yay, hello. So that's good. So we are live, and this is Bill Marion at Nose for Life. We are running late this evening. I do apologize. Carolyn, if you could, let's see, you're busy. So if you could, I'm going to try to share the event, essentially. Yeah, just share it on our two Facebooks. Thank you so much. It says that the stream rate is bad. Here at 912, key frequency 4 seconds or less. Currently, frame rates are not being sent off on us, which will cause buffering. Check the video resolution, current resolution, which is not optimal. Then it says the health is good. So it says the current resolution, 908 by 568, which is not optimal. What is the optimal? So 908 by 568, I think we had it differently. I do. 908. I'm going to try to change it on the fly. I thought I knew how to do that. Yeah, it won't let me on the fly. So, well, I think we're doing the best we can do. Of course, we're not doing a whole lot of, there's not going to be a whole lot of high speed moving around or anything. But if you're in here, let me know that you're in here. It's good to see you. Hey guys, good to see you. Greetings from South Carolina. Donald Raver, what's up? How are you? How are you? Yes, Mike Goldston, I am back. Word. Good to see you guys. Good to see you guys, everybody. Faraday, good to see you. And of course, my lovely wife, who does not want to be on camera again. I'm only going to let her get by with this whole not wanting to be on camera thing. But she doesn't know it because she didn't watch the video this afternoon. And we put out our first video in about 5 weeks other than that live shot on the Appalachian Trail. Let's just talk about that for a second. What's up, Freckleface? Let's talk about the Appalachian Trail. Back in Tennessee, Georgia, North Carolina and stuff, there are places that, on the Appalachian Trail where you really are in the middle of nowhere. It's kind of really cool, to be in that setting. But if you go around here to the Appalachian Trail, you're never far away from a bathroom or a resort. I'm just saying, you're not this part of Virginia. I'm not saying it's not a good hike. There's some great hiking, some amazing views. The Shenandoah Valley is beautiful. East of the Mississippi, it's going to be hard to find a place prettier than where I live. It's just absolutely gorgeous. The Appalachian Mountains are just beautiful and timeless. But I'm just saying, we were out there the other day, and you think you're so far away, on those hilltops, and you're not. So close, in fact, that we had perfect cell signal. I mean, we could have probably done a show better than we did here with Wi-Fi. It's hilarious. But welcome. It's good to see everybody again. I've missed you guys so very much, and I'm glad you're here. Now, here's the thing. I'm sitting there, and I made a decision to go live today, and I cannot think of a topic. And I hope YouTube doesn't get mad at me. So I had this cool picture of this clock thing from an old Chevy place or whatever, and I put time travel on there. But really, more than anything else, it was like, I couldn't think of anything else to say. The clock reminded me of time travel, so we can talk about whatever you want to talk about. So what's up with this Mueller investigation? I'm just kidding. I kid. I know, right? I kid. It's crazy stuff, though, is in the news. If you'd like to go back in time and try to predict the outcome of all the news over the past few months, I think that would be hysterical. But I want to hear about what you're doing. This is a conversation, so let me hear what you guys are doing. I'm a bit partial to the views around Parksville Lake. Well, who isn't partial to the views around Parksville Lake? That place is wonderful. Carolyn and I met at Chilhowie, McCamey Lake, which is just up the mountain there from Parksville. Literally, it's a 7-mile drive to the top of the mountain there, something like that.
Seems right.
And it's like a 7-mile drive up the mountain. And what makes that cool is that there's a lake up there too. It's like they call it a lake, but it's more like a big pond. But you can fish in it and swim. And that's where Carolyn and I met, and the rest is history, right? Right.
Yeah.
She's been regretting it ever since.
Oh, he's just...
I'm just kidding.
No, I haven't.
but I tell you what, we love that area. I don't think there's a prettier place on earth. It's absolutely wonderful. Hey, is the volume okay? Let me know if the volume's all right if you don't care. Benton Falls is awesome. Let me tell you, Benton Falls, I can't believe I never made a video. Well, I think Carol and I did way back. I think, and maybe Nathan was with us when we went to Chilhowie. Not sure. I think we went to Benton Falls. It's Bill. Yes. Hey, you know what? It's Bill. Back at you. Did you get much snow? We had none in Low Country. I missed the mountains. Yes, we had snow all year here in Virginia. We lived. They call this is the middle of Virginia, but I'm like, no, it's not the middle. I feel like it's the north. We're 2 hours from D.C. The way a crow flies, we're probably faster than that. Carol and I have this theory that it would be just as fast on some days to take the Skyline to Washington, D.C., because it ends up at Front Royal, right?
Yes.
It ends up at Front Royal, and take the Skyline north, and Front Royal is just a hop, skip, and a jump away from the White House, man. It's just down the road. So we always think that maybe it would be faster because we've hit some pretty bad traffic at times. My son, Nathan, and I, we hit some terrible traffic, but it was some kind of protest march kind of thingy. Says, I'll do a video for it. Hey, do it. Do it, man. I'd love to watch it. Dixie Chicken says, 5 by 5. Dixie Chicken, good to see you again. Dixie Chicken actually came back. She actually came back. I didn't know if Dixie Chicken was going to stick around or not. I'm glad she sticks around. I'm glad to see all of you guys. And Mike, you guys, you and Leah's got some stuff that you guys are getting into, some paranormal kind of stuff. If you want to plug that away, plug it in the comments. And I'll let you post a link, of course, if you got anything going on there. And I wanted to do that last month, but we didn't go live again. It's been since before I was in Hickson since we've been live again. So, but it's good to see you guys in here. I'm so very, very grateful. When we went up to the yeah, you got to smash that thumbs up, hit that like button, all that stuff we do and say in the YouTube world. I love the YouTube world, though. And I missed making videos. Priority calls. The west side of the Capitol Beltway is a disaster. Is it? Donald Raver says the west side of the Capitol Beltway. So that's something to keep in mind. So what you're saying is don't take the Skyline to Front Royal into D.C. I hear you. Hey, Billy at Strong's Adventure. Man, I'm going to tell you something. You guys have got to check out the Strong Adventures site, Backyard Life. Plug your channels away. Oh, my goodness, it's my best friend, Ken Hartley's in the house. What's up, my man? Had a great project. Another reason why I didn't go live for the past couple of weeks is Ken Hartley. There you see him in the comments. Everybody say hello to Ken. Ken is a phenomenal worship leader, but he's also amazing at research, and he's been to Disney World 300 plus times. I can't even fathom that. So he's written this book about his experiences, and it's called How I Do Disney, and you can check more of that out when his website's up and running. It's at howidodisney.com, but we were doing the bonus feature to the book that's coming out. It's going to be an amazing book. I'm serious. You're going to hear me plug it. You're going to see excerpts from the project he and I just finished, and you're going to see a lot of that in the months and weeks to come. But it's called How I Do Disney. And again, the website's howidodisney.com. So we spent like a couple of days just doing one video after another and building this bonus feature for his book. So when you buy the book, and you're going to want to buy the book if you like going to Disney World, you're going to want to buy the book. I'm buying the book. And I know Ken, and I know what's in the book. But I want to have it with me. You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to access the book and look up stuff. Because as you're navigating all the parks down there, just trust me, I'm not going to get into it and tell us stuff. But that was another reason why we didn't go live for a couple of weeks is we were working on another video project. One of the things YouTube has given me is a skill, an artistic skill. But still, though, I'm glad to see Ken's in here. It is good to see you. Grateful that you're here as well. And be sure, everybody, to make sure you hit that like button like we were talking about earlier. Subscribe, like, comment. Don't you get tired? You watch the YouTube videos as much as I know all of you do in here. And you know when it's coming. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. That's one of the reasons why I watch Philip DeFranco. It's timed. You know exactly when he's going to say it. And that's what I learned, the little trick from him about putting the hit the like button 30, 40 seconds in. Because people will just do it because they see it flash up in the bottom left of the screen. They'll be like, oh, hit the like button. And they hit the like button. But it does matter. So yeah, the topic is time travel, but it's not, because again, I honestly did. It was practically spontaneous that we got on here and did the whole live thing tonight. Leah Golston says, "Hey Bill, great to see you again." What up, Leah? By the way, I told Michael this. If you guys want to plug anything, plug it away. We'll approve just about anything in here as long as it's not too crazy. Oh, yeah, click the bell for notifications, Faraday says. Don't forget to click the bell for notifications. With YouTube's algorithm, you got to like tell people 15 ways to get back to your project. You know, you got to hit the bell. You got to subscribe. You do the hokey pokey. Turn yourself around. That's what it's all about, baby. Reading through here, Bill, what video editing software? I'm still using iMovie for right now until we get the new camera unveiled. It's not unveiled yet. Shh, we can't talk about it. I'm trying to get sponsorship, people. So I'm being very careful. I don't want to shoot myself in the foot too soon before I do an unwrapping video. Some of you YouTube creators will get what I'm saying there. Carolyn Marion, don't forget to hit the thumbs up.
I did.
Did you hit the thumbs up?
Yes, I did. Hey, I was the first one to do it this time.
How about everybody tell Carolyn that it's time that she does this show with me from now on?
No.
I think everybody here in the
No.
comments.
Nope.
Everybody wants to see Carolyn. There's a great shot of her, and she missed it because she didn't watch the last video. But there's a great shot of her that I got. She's got the backpack on. She took the backpack from me. She wanted to walk down the hill with the backpack. She's trying to get, shape and stuff. So she gets the backpack on. And she's like, don't get me on film. Thanks, David. Appreciate it. You look great too, my man. I've not seen your videos lately. I keep looking for the notifications, but we miss you. I was actually going to look you up and send you a message this evening. But it's good to see you again. So, yeah, so Carolyn had the backpack on. So I've got this scene of Carolyn. She's kind of turned around the other way with the backpack. So it's hysterical.
Thanks, babe.
Yeah, I had to because you were sporting the backpack.
Whatever.
We're all about equal opportunity.
No.
We share backpacking responsibilities.
Oh, yes.
I just always have to wear it walking down or up the hill. She gets to wear it walking down the hill. So just kept trying to make sure I've not missed anything in the comments. Carolyn's always getting on to me for touching my face because it's like a big no-no. And as soon as the camera starts rolling, I find myself itching somewhere and everywhere. It's crazy. Carolyn, your hair looks so shiny on the Appalachian Trail, Faraday said. It's the shampoo you're using. What is it called? Aussie shampoo? Aussie. It's a good shampoo. Try it sometime. It's a good shampoo. Your hair looks I obviously don't need shampoo. I use a buffer. I use turtle wax, the old-fashioned kind. Sometimes you just, that'd be a great video, how I buff my head. How was the Fresh Oil New Wine? Hey, it was a great conference. My favorite night was probably the last night. My favorite minister there was probably Paulette Phillips. Probably Paulette Phillips. It's hard to beat. But I didn't get to see the first half, or the first session and first two sessions. I didn't get to see those, but Paulette did a thing on forgiveness that was just marvelous. It was one of the best messages on forgiveness I've ever heard. Karen says, interesting, I got on that hike. So maybe she's born with, maybe it's Maybelline.
Stupid.
Maybe it's Maybelline. Hey, so listen, Easter is coming up this Sunday. Be sure that you reconnect with your local church. If you're not in church right now, I mean, listen, you're going to hear about Jesus on his channel. It's just, come on. You're going to hear about it. But also, if you live within 50 miles of Harrisonburg, I invite you personally to my church at Ray of Hope. We are at 1450 Reservoir Street, right here in downtown Harrisonburg, across the street from JMU. You won't regret it. You'll be made to feel loved. And we would love to have you this Easter Sunday. It's just a couple of days away. We also, very early that morning, we have a sunrise service. And we're going to have like biscuits and gravy afterwards. I'm excited about that. I mean, I've even trimmed down a little bit just so I can eat a little more breakfast. Michael says, we're out helping we're out, but I can't read. We are out to help those dealing with paranormal activity, but from a biblical perspective. And we got, by the way, just got notified we've got other people watching us live. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good to see you as well. Faraday says, I just got tired of watching you two walking. Been too long in the flatlands. Come back to the mountains, Faraday. Come back to the mountains. We miss you. Carolyn, I did find a place to have a retreat. We're talking about doing a retreat this year for our Nose for Life community. We have about 25 people and their families involved. I mean, this thing could blow up. We got a place to go. And Wintergreen Resort. The problem is a meeting space. They do have one, and the other problem is money. This place is a little too expensive. It is a little too expensive to ask people to come and share stories and just be together and hang out at like $200 a night. It's pretty rough for a lot of people. Now, Carolyn is making me take her on a getaway in a few weeks to, what is it called again?
It's wintergreen.
Wintergreen. There's a video I'm putting out on this Tuesday. So this Tuesday, check out the video that we actually kind of drive around. Wintergreen Resort.
Yep.
WintergreenResort.com. But we're actually going to go there in a few weeks, and we'll probably make another video. Monday, Thursdays. What's that all about? I had to look up Mounday up in the dictionary. Moundy.
Moundy. Is it Moundy?
What?
No.
I don't know what he's talking. What do you?
I don't either.
Did I misspell something, Freckleface?
Oh.
I don't know what you be saying. So I'm just catching up here on all the latest. So yeah, the topic tonight is time travel, but it's really whatever you want it to be. So of course, most of the time in here we're just free rolling. But time travel is sort of the topic, and this is what I guess I'm just throwing this out here just to stir it up a little bit, just to get everybody going. So let's say you could go back 90 days knowing what you know now about the Mueller investigation. I went there. I did.
Why did you do that?
I know.
Controversial topic.
Controversy. So you have to understand what the deal is here. If you're on a controversial topic, you're likely to get demonetized, which is why Carolyn's like, what are you doing?
We gotta get paid.
Got to get paid. I understand that. But it's just a lot of fun. It's just a lot of fun. So if you could go back in time 90 days, knowing what you know now about the Mueller investigation, what would you say to yourself? What would you say to other people? Anybody? Or are we delayed on the comments? Everybody got quiet. I started talking about politics. I'm telling you. Everybody gets quiet. Oh, I don't know what to say. I just thought I'd have a little bit of fun. But yeah, the whole concept, I was watching the news today, and it's like the bad dream that won't end. It just never ends. They just keep talking, and they just keep on. It's like a constant drama. David Lowe says, duh. Well, it's a comment. I'll give you that. I'll tell you what I would tell myself. I would go back in time and tell myself that you were so right in what you said on a live stream where I told everybody this is a nothing burger and it's just drama. It's been a big waste of money. It sure has, a waste of drama and fueling a whole bunch of nonsense. And what's the worst part about it is that you talk about trying to get rid of fake news and get rid of conspiracies that are silly and some of them anti-Semitic and everything else. If you're wanting to do that, the media as a whole has just advanced conspiracy for the past 2 years more than Alex Jones ever did, more than RT ever did. I mean, this was the biggest conspiracy nothing burger ever seen. And here's the thing, is that Donald Trump, and again, I'm not a pundit, I'm just fired up about this. Donald Trump, he's a big crybaby. We know this. That's his personality. That's his personality. So this whole obstruction thing is stupid too. Him wanting to fire Comey and then getting mad at Mueller. It's not obstruction. He's a crybaby. You know, what are you going to do? It's just silly. David says, just so many more important things going on. Yeah, like everything. Like people working and personal stuff. Yeah. Dixie Chicken said, I would tell myself you were right from the start, Dixie girl. That's right, Dixie girl. You were right. Freckleface, Trump has God's hand on him, I believe. I think a lot of people believe that. I believe that, here's what I think. I think Trump probably did kind of come to grips with his relationship with God during his candidacy for president, candidate Trump. But I think it's sincere. I think it's as sincere as he knows how to be, and he surrounds himself with Christian men and women all the time. And he's constantly getting better. And I wasn't a Trump fan as much at the beginning as much as I am now just because of what he's had to deal with. I mean, now I'm on the Trump train, and I wasn't during the election. You can ask some of my friends that are in here right now that knew me. I was not on the Trump train. If anything, I was dreading the election. But all the media's done is pushed me more towards the Trump, the president. And again, just because of the stupidity that we're dealing with. And plus, I don't see any other candidate out there for the next election that's worth my time, to be honest with you. And suddenly the comments, every time we go political, the comments just die. I know. I should listen to my wife. She says, don't go political.
Yes, you should.
I'm like, but still, scrolling back through here and noticing that some people were talking earlier about Dixie Chicken. We just went choo-choo for the Trump train. We were talking earlier about the Appalachian, no joke. We were talking about the Appalachian Trail, and we were talking about being out in the middle of nowhere. versus not really. Again, the illusion here in this part of Virginia, and I would say Southern Virginia is different, but the northern part of Virginia, the Virginia skyline, and the Appalachian Trail through here, you're not really out there. So when you see those videos, they're really deceiving because you think you're in the wilderness, and it's like, nah, not really. You still get hurt, but kind of like you would get hurt at your local city park, And again, I'm just comparing that to North Carolina, the Smoky Mountains, and those areas where you really can get out in the middle of nowhere. Dennis Jackson is in the house. Always good to see my Kentucky Wanderer brother out there. Good to see you, Dennis, as always. Hey, guys, just got home and found you. Tell Carolyn hi. Dennis Jackson says hello.
Hello, Dennis.
And she says the invisible Carolyn says hello, Dennis. Good to see you.
I'm stuffing my face.
She's eating Five Guys. That was our dinner tonight. It's Five Guys. Five Guys probably has one of the best hamburgers out there, I think. But it's good to see you again, Dennis. There's some great places in southeastern Kentucky that should be tourist destinations, but they're not. Over through Knox County and Harlan County and Bell County. Man, those places are absolutely gorgeous. Beautiful mountains. And there needs to be something, you got one of my first videos that got up to 200,000 plus views, the Cumberland Gap Tunnel. It was my first, cha-ching kind of video that started hitting big. And it was sort of tongue-in-cheek conspiracy. It wasn't meant to be taken seriously, even though about 50,000 people did, literally, took it seriously. But that area, you can go there and you can do a lot of hiking, but there's not a scenic road that goes through there up through Harlan. I really wish that they had that. Why doesn't Carolyn get on the camera too? Why doesn't Carolyn get on the camera too? Hello?
He can check the comments.
Well, I get it. Freckleface said, long ago and far away, when I was a child, I would visit my papa at Woody's Gap, Georgia, and we would hear the people chattering on the Appalachian Trail from the general store. But, it's a general store. So I'm assuming, Freckleface, that it's like in the middle of nowhere, though, right? Even the general store is probably a 2-lane road, I'm assuming. It's probably... because it's Woody's Gap. I mean, there's not a whole lot down there. And so at least it feels more rustic. But I'm telling you, this Wintergreen Resort we were looking at was probably less than 5 miles, 3 miles from the Appalachian Trail, man. You can see the condos, from right in the middle there. You can see all of the condos. You just about hear the music and smell the popcorn. I mean, if I was doing what they call a hike through, and that's where you do all the Appalachian Trail, I would have to get me a condo for a couple of nights to rest. Be like, I'm gonna get a condo for a couple of nights, have a steak, play some golf. I don't even like golf, but still. Donald Raver says, Bill, you need to get back up to Seneca Rock. Yes, I do. To Seneca Rocks and on to Mungo, and it's got a beautiful church there. I think I always get that wrong. Is it Mungo? Is that how you say that? If it's not, I apologize. Seneca Rocks will probably be in the next couple of weeks. Spring's hitting hard up here. It's beautiful. I'm telling you, the Shenandoah Valley and both sides of the valley, whether you're over in, it's all Appalachia, but whether you're on the Blue Ridge side or the Allegheny side, spring is just gorgeous up here. It's just gorgeous. They actually have seasons. What Carol and I are used to, and some of the my friends here in the chat room, we're used to this: 2 seasons, hot and real hot. That's kind of like the deep south, seasons. But here in this part of Virginia, something Carol and I just fell in love immediately is they have seasons. We have seasons. We have a spring, a summer, a fall, and a winter, and
they don't melt.
You don't melt during the summer like you do in the deep south. But who knows? Maybe next winter we'll be complaining. Everybody said that we would complain this past winter, but we loved it. We loved the snow. We loved the fall. Beautiful here in the fall, and the spring is turning out to be just absolutely amazing. It's very, very beautiful here in the spring. So on the Allegheny side of the mountain, where Seneca Rocks are, that's where we're headed because we've not been there yet. We're going to take another trip to Spruce Knob because Spruce Knob is it Spruce Knob? I'm saying that right.
Yes.
The video that it's called Hidden Winter Wonderland or something like that we made about driving to Spruce Knob in that blizzard, you need to check that out. It didn't get a lot of views, and I'm kind of shocked because, and I'm going to really push it probably later. Even more so, because if you haven't watched that one, if you really love snow and seeing snow, and maybe you live in the deep south and don't see a lot of it, that's your video. That's a video you need to see because it is, first of all, it's a pretty good video as far as it's solid. It's not too boring, but we're driving up the largest mountain, the tallest mountain in the state of West Virginia, And there's 3 feet of snow on the road. They do not clear or salt that road up there, and yet you can still, they don't close the road down like a lot of forestry services do. They don't close the road down, and you can literally just drive straight up there. We put the truck in 4-wheel drive, and we have a beautiful Silverado, a beautiful Chevy Silverado 4x4. We love our truck. Put it in 4-wheel drive, and it made it all the way to the top. And when I say 3 feet of snow, I'm not exaggerating. We got it measured. 3 feet of snow on the road. So we love West Virginia. Love it over there. It's absolutely beautiful. Catching back up. First, you have first summer, fall, second summer, winter, one more summer. Michael Golston.
That's all that.
That's about right. I remember deer hunting one time in Tennessee. For those of you in Tennessee, over on Lewis Chapel, that area, Jones Gap, in that area, and it was November, and it was 86 degrees. I'll never forget it. It wasn't that long ago. It was 3 or 4 or 5 years ago. It wasn't long ago. And getting carried away, actually it was long ago. It was the same year I broke my leg. That was in 2012. So 6 years ago. And I never forget that. It got cold later, but the point is all that time of just awful heat. Just awful heat. And it just makes deer hunting this whole new thing. I don't know. I like seasons. That's all. I like seasons. Donald Raymond, good video. Yes, I think so. But I think Seneca Rocks, totally agree with you. Seneca Rocks it's got to be the next thing. We have an opportunity over there to, we've been invited to stay at a cabin over there somewhere in that vicinity too. West Virginia is a different bird, though. West Virginia is a different bird. You know, you go as soon as you cross the state line and you head over to that side of the valley. When I say that side, I'm trying to point east, but actually east is that way. When you head to that side of the valley and you get over to the skyline and up towards Washington, the prices skyrocket. I mean, real estate is high, resorts are high, cabins. I mean, you're going to spend more money than probably. I'm going to be careful when I say that. You have to be careful that you're getting value for your money, because you can spend the gas money and go other places. That's just the truth. But if you cross over to the Alleghenies in West Virginia, you're going to get a lot of bang for your buck, but you're in the middle of nowhere. You know, there's not going to be a shopping mall down the road. You know, I like that. I like that about West Virginia. I love the state of West Virginia. Faraday says, we have a little frost occasionally, but snow only every few years, but not enough to keep from driving. Ice storms cause the most harm. Yes, it's like that in Chattanooga too. The ice storms are the worst. The snow, melts within an hour. Like, let's see if I missed any other comments here. By the way, again, I want to thank everybody for stopping by. I'm so grateful. I know that we had to take a month off, but you guys know this. Like I said in the video today, I'm a Christian pastor, so my priority, my calling, my heart, everything in me, that's what I do. This is something I do because I love doing it, and it's given me a great skill to help other people as well. And, of course, as a Christian, to share the gospel of Christ right here on this channel. And so I'm sorry that I wasn't able to put out a video for a month. That was not on the plan. And it delayed our camera. It delayed our new editing software. It delayed a lot of things in trying to get negotiations trying to finish negotiations for unboxing to see if we could make a little bit from the unboxing. But I appreciate you guys coming back and hanging out with us. Thank you so much. Just making sure I've not missed any comments. Seneca Rocks, I hit that one. Backpacking with Jason goes to some cool places on the Appalachian Trail. I have seen that. That's pretty cool. That's another good channel. There's a lot of Appalachian Trail channels. When you go through TubeBuddy and you finish your video, and you guys, you other YouTube creators, you'll know this. If you have TubeBuddy, when you check the rankings for your tags, it's really hard to tag up Appalachian Trail because so many people put out videos about the Appalachian Trail. So it's really hard to find a unique tag there. Bill, have you been to Cass, West Virginia? Carolyn, we've been to Cass, West Virginia.
That sounds familiar. I don't remember.
Look, Donald, let me ask you this, or is it Donald who asked that? Yeah, Donald. Is Cass near Snowshoe? Let me know if Cass is near Snowshoe. I love Snowshoe. Carolyn had wigged her out. I don't know why. She says the snow and the roads and stuff like that. She was worried. I don't know why it wigged us out, but I enjoyed it. I loved it. But Carolyn's not from a skiing background. I am. That has a lot to do with it too.
Oh, there was nobody up there. It was spooky.
It wasn't time for ski season, so it was kind of a ghost town. It was kind of spooky. It was kind of like The Shining, the ski resort, The Shining. But if it's near Snowshoe, let me know. Used to be called Tritch's. Freckleface was talking about a comment earlier. She said, used to be called Tritch's General Store, Woody's Gap. Remember them having cold soda pop? in a Coke cooler. Boy, I remember those. We had a store like that in Middle Tennessee, near my grandparents' house. I called them Granny and Paul. That's how it's on my mom's side. And theirs was Wesley's Groceries. Remember them having cold soda pop in a Coke cooler. You had to reach your hand into the ice cold water to get a knee-high grape pop for 5 cents. My goodness, Freckleface, don't date yourself so obviously. Don't be so obvious about your... But you know what? I remember that too very well. Now, I don't remember 5 cents, though. I'm not... I see 35 cents for it. Probably 35 cents, I think I remember. Mike Olson says, way off topic, Bill, but I have to ask your thoughts on the new Star Wars trailer. Okay, let's go here. We might as well. Yes. Let's talk about the new Star Wars trailer.
We're getting our tickets early.
We will get our tickets early. We'll see it. But I need to get this out. Here's the thing. I've got a film editorial critique of The Last Jedi as well as Rogue One on this channel. Now, here's the thing. I got out of the film review business on YouTube because there are really, really good YouTube creators who do film. And I felt like I was doing film critique a disservice, even though our first response to Rogue One was my first video that went over 5,000 views. I mean, it planed out at like 8,500 views or something like that. But here's the thing. The Last Jedi is an embarrassment to Disney and Lucasfilm. I gave it a very nice and polite review because at the time I was really trying to see where this channel was going, which direction it was going. I regret that because I felt like my review was dishonest. I don't take it off here just to remind myself, or I would delete it. Because I think Rian Johnson, I don't know why they let that movie fly at all. That being said, and they put J.J. Abrams in a horrible position. The trailer looks okay. But I'm not sure how J.J. Abrams can make that story work. As somebody who writes, Ken is a writer. Ken Hartley, by the way, has written several books. So you guys actually have like a celebrity amongst you tonight. But as a writer, as a fiction writer, working on a time-traveling story right now. But as a fiction writer, it is very difficult for me to see how J.J. Abrams can pull out of the nosedive Johnson put them in without inventing new MacGuffins and creating a story within a story that by the end of the movie, you've just kind of stuffed yourself with information as opposed to enjoying the movie. I don't know how they're going to pull it off. The trailer... Star Wars they've always had good trailers. They do the best. I think Star Wars is, if you remember back to the prequels, the trailers were amazing for every single one of them. I mean, they do a good job at doing trailers. The Marvel movies, they do a good job making trailers. Some movies fail. You can only make a trailer as good as the movie's going to be, and you have those rare occasions where the trailer is better than the movie, but that's a salute. Remember that the movie... the producers of the movie, they don't actually make the trailer. They farm that out. Another company does that, usually. So, like with the new Ghostbusters, Ghostbusters 2016, the trailer was terrible, but that's because the movie was terrible. Great idea. I love the idea of the all-women Ghostbusters cast, but wow, did they put it in the ditch. It was just a bad movie. Just a terrible movie. But with the new Star Wars, I'm hopeful. I love the trailer. But we'll see. The Palpatine thing, there's Red Letter Media. I don't recommend them to just anybody because they're a little off color sometimes. But Red Letter Media put out a video, and they really made fun of Luke's statement in the trailer where he says, no one's ever gone forever. That's not necessarily a good thing to have in a trailer. Let me tell you why, for those of you who like writing. If nothing ever matters in the story that you're telling, in other words, if somebody dies and you can just bring them right back, and not as a Force Ghost either, I'm talking about you can just bring their character back in some kind of crazy way, then nothing really matters in the movie. So there's nothing there to risk. There's nothing there to enjoy. So hearing Emperor Palpatine in the background laughing is just kind of like, eh. So there it is, Mike. I didn't mean to go wax strong and poetic for 5 hours about the Star Wars trailer. I think a lot of people are curious about these things because a lot of people like to write a lot. We're in a day where everybody's a writer. Everybody's got a website. Everybody's got a YouTube channel. Everybody's an influencer. So a lot of people pay attention to things now that we didn't pay attention to years ago. Going back in time here. Faraday says age is an honor. Yes, it is. I was just playing earlier. Anyone here from New Jersey? Somebody is. Backyard Live says we would get on the tractor and clear the roads when we got snow in southeastern Eastern Tennessee. That's always fun. We get on the backhoe there on Old Lovelady in it's a Hickson address, but it's Soddy Daisy, and clear out the road there. Put blades in the 4-wheeler, and we would kind of clear out the dead end.
Well, and we made a makeshift high-end sled that you guys pulled behind the 4-wheeler.
We made a sled one year, and we need to get that out and show people sometime. Get the picture.
Photos, yeah.
Because the sled, it's like a 6-7 foot sled made of metal. About 4 feet wide. It was insane. And pulled it behind 4-wheelers. It was great.
The kids could have laid down on it.
The kids could. All 3 of them rode it together.
Yep.
Avengers Endgame, I think, is going to be amazing. I think that's good storytelling. I think the cliffhanger there was appropriate. I think everybody's in agreement on there. Ken says, I think the fans are pretty ticked off at how they killed Luke. Yeah, I totally agree. It didn't bother me as bad the way they killed Luke. I like the fact that Luke was conflicted. I like that he had gone down the wrong road, that his hero cycle wasn't over. I like that. I didn't have a problem with that. I didn't like the interaction between Luke and Rey. I think that was my issue. Where's Leia's Dagobah moment? Where she starts learning this stuff. The slang that they're referring to Rey's character is a Mary Sue, and it's basically somebody where all of their talents and ability are just given to them just because. Your talents are there just because. There's nothing earned. So we love Rey's character in The Force Awakens. Everybody loved that. Rey was amazing. I forget her name, Daisy Ridley? Yeah, I think it's Daisy Ridley. She was amazing, and what she brings to the franchise was awesome, and I loved it. I was all in, but her progression, in learning about the Force and all the fictional side of that, it was just hard to suspend disbelief there. It was just, yeah. Donald says, been up to Snowshoe off season, keep thinking Jack was lurking behind the trees. I'm telling you, dude. That place reminds me, and you guys will have to look this up, at Snowshoe, West Virginia. It does. It looks like it would be a great place for some type of fiction to play out. It really does. Avengers Endgame, Star Wars has run its course. You know what? Maybe it has, and then again, maybe we rest for 5 to 6 years. But Disney's going to put it in the ground. They got to get that money back that they spent for the story. They paid George Lucas $4 billion. So we're going to see a lot more Star Wars. I mean, you got the Boba Fett series. It's called The Mandalorian. That's coming to the Disney streaming service, which will be out in November. Anybody else getting the Disney streaming service? Just wondering. Donald says, oh my God, I used to date a girl in Dunlap back in 2002. That's where I used to live, man. Soddy Daisy. Soddy Daisy. Scary place, man. Scary. I'm just kidding. Soddy Daisy, good people, loving people, salt of the earth people. And of course, we lived there for almost 15 years, 14 years, something like that.
Yeah. Yep,
and
that's right.
it's home, that's home away from home still. And my mom still lives there. She lives on, we call it Johnson Mountain over there. We used to use an old car hood on the ice in Louisiana. Man, be honest. Now, Louisiana, you had ice, one time in 10 years? There's no ice in Louisiana. I love Louisiana, though. I love it. Backyard Life says, here is a wild prediction for Star Wars. Rey is actually the bad guy created by Palpatine, and Ben Solo turns good. The Star Wars story is about the Skywalkers. I would love that. I think that would be yes, you talk about subverting expectations, that would be awesome. I would love that. Star Wars needs some Fett to get on track. No cable here. I hear you. I grew up in Crab Creek. Very scary. Sounds scary. So there's all kinds of good movies coming out. The last year was probably the worst year I remember for movies. And you can tell because it's not only is box office down, but pay-per-views down. Movies across the board are down. A part of it's the studio system, and a part of it is the muffling of plots with hidden agenda and politics that people are just so annoyed with, and people really don't. They're tired of seeing it. They're tired of going to be entertained and spending a lot of money. I think the last time Carol and I went to the movies, what did we spend? $50.
Yeah, so I was like, oh.
$50. Think about that. $50. Now we always see an IMAX. Ken will tell you because Ken and I have been to the theater. He's not a big IMAX. He's not a huge IMAX fan, and we talked about that on here before. He likes a traditional screen. That's how he can ascertain or determine if he likes the plot of the movie or whatever. Because IMAX will dazzle you a little bit and get your mind off the plot of the movie. It will. And sometimes you'll call a movie good, and then when you leave the movie and watch it later, you're like, that wasn't as good as I thought because you're enjoying the IMAX experience. But I won't spend the money. I'm not going to go to the movies and see a movie unless it's an IMAX. I want to have the whole experience. But still, people are paying $50, $60, and $70 to go to the movies just for two people. And when you go there, you're getting preached at politically about this, that, or the other. And I think people are sick of it. I think it has a lot to do with it. Ken says, the series I'm excited about are both streaming, Cobra Kai and Stranger Things. Oh, my goodness. I have yet to see Cobra Kai, but all of my YouTube peeps, all the YouTube world, they are going batty over Cobra Kai. They are going batty over it. And, Ken, you're one of them. I mean, and Stranger Things, Cobra Kai, it's the Karate Kid thing. To make sure I got this right.
Yeah.
It's the Karate Kid thing,
Yeah.
but they're older. And it's really, really smart. Now, some of you will see an ad right now. If you are, thank you so much for watching the ad. And some of you won't. By the way, if you get tired, some people don't know this, especially if you're in my age group and older, so I always want to share the information. I feel like I'm honor bound. Hey, if you saw an ad, by the way, let me interrupt myself. If you saw an ad, be sure to let me know. I would greatly appreciate it. Faraday says, no IMAX here close enough. We have to drive an hour to get to an IMAX now?
Yep, it's an hour.
To be so close to, D.C., Pittsburgh. We're not close to Pittsburgh, but let's see, 2 hours from D.C.
We're an hour from Charlottesville.
An hour from Charlottesville. There is
How far are we from Richmond?
2 hours
Okay.
or less. JMU has 21,000, 22,000 students. Huge university. We have no IMAX in Harrisonburg. I really, really, really wish we had an IMAX here. I love the prediction, though. Cobra Kai never dies. Karate Kid 30 years later is essentially what it is. Karate Kid 30 years later. But I hear it's very heartfelt. It's very real. It's very authentic. I love that. And so I'm going to check that out. Stranger Things. Yes, it is a nostalgic button-pushing show. I get it. The plots are the overall plot is rehashed. We've seen it. I get it. But it's just so well done. It has all of those elements that my childhood, if you grew up in the 80s and late 70s, golly, but the late 70s and the 80s, A Stranger Thing pushes those nostalgic buttons in the right way. So it's very well done. And it's not overly evil either. It's playfully fun. Over on Netflix, go see The Highwaymen. Yes! The Highwaymen
I'm
was...
actually watching that.
Carolyn's watching that now. That is one of my favorite Netflix shows as far as movies for the past several years. The Highwaymen, amazing. Highwaymen is an amazing show. Faraday says that to get to an IMAX, he would have to drive about 5 hours. Man, wow. Wow, that's a long drive for an IMAX. There's got to be a way to get IMAX out to the community. My dad's got this theory. We talked about it, that televisions of the future will be oval, if they're televisions at all. But just imagine like an oval thing that kind of comes all the way around you so that you can maybe get the IMAX experience. My dad predicted, and I'm always talking to him about this, is because he made some amazing predictions back in the mid-'80s about where technology was going. It was just, to this day, I think about it and I go, wow. But he said that televisions would hang on a wall. And they'd be light and inexpensive, and boy, true. Freckleface says, Hollywood is so corrupt, we don't go to the movies anymore. I hate to support them. In a lot of cases, that's the truth. And even if you're not watching, here's the thing, and even if you're not watching the film that's bad or whatever, you're still supporting the industry. But there is a different side of that. You're not just supporting Hollywood moguls when you're doing that. When you go buy a movie ticket, you're supporting the local movie owner, which may go to your church down the road. You're supporting his staff. But also in Hollywood, most of your budget is set design and hardworking people who work a 10-hour, 12-hour a day. And it's not just the executives and these Harvey Weinstein characters. That's a very small portion of Hollywood. Most of Hollywood's hardworking construction people, planners, administrators, and just making a living. So that's another way of looking at it. Stranger Things, Ken says Stranger Things has a Hitchcock type suspense to it. Yeah, there's definitely, and there's a Twilight Zone. It's got that whole thing in the 1960s that you were supposed to think. You weren't supposed to just watch. You were supposed to watch every frame. It's why I loved the show Lost. Like everybody else, I wasn't crazy about the ending. I thought it was okay. I got it, but I wasn't crazy about it. But that's what made Lost so good. Lost was good because it kept you going. There was the suspense, the mystery, and so on. But yeah, Stranger Things has got it. It's got the Hitchcock. It's got the Twilight Zone. Absolutely. Strong's Adventures. I like watching Bill Murray and Nose for Life, and I have been watching I've been having to watch reruns for a month. Hey man, don't you? It's good because if you come back, it's like syndication on the old sitcoms. You know, it's like running in syndication. But thank you. I'm just glad you're here tonight. Faraday says that would be wonderful to have tech that gives us the full IMAX experience. I think so. We're learning so much about light and ways to manipulate light. And of course, if you're a physicist, hobbyist, anywhere, you know what I'm talking about right now, what we're learning to do. It's pretty amazing. Donald, you heading to bed? Good night, man. Glad you stopped by. Thanks for stopping by. Austin's a wonderful community as well, by the way. I love Texas. Carolyn and I would love to plan a trip through Texas. It's another place that we're talking about going. And we're excited about that. We've got several trips planned this year, hopefully, if everything works out right. But we're not able to make our big jumps like we want to make this year. We did, I think, year before last, we made a couple of big jumps from happenstance. It had nothing to do with the planning. We just ended up being in some interesting places for, in some cases, not a good reason, but still. Faraday says, good evening. I must go as well. I have an early day tomorrow. Well, hey, you know what? It's good to see you as well. And we'll finish up. And again, Faraday, we should be starting Tuesdays and Thursdays on the live chat, hopefully, if things go right over the next several weeks. But glad you guys both dropped by. And we'll finish tonight by talking, again, about Easter to make sure that you reconnect with your local church. Maybe you haven't been to church in a while. Maybe you're having some doubt, some issues in your faith. Well, this Easter, what I want you to do is I want you to say, you know what, I'm going to go to church this Easter. I'm going to hear what the pastor has to say, go to a Bible-believing church, listen to what they have to say, and consider making that final commitment to accept Jesus Christ as your Savior if you haven't already. Now, if you've done that already, that's great. And I'll see you at church Easter. If not together, then by Spirit. But if you haven't, let this Easter be that time that you make that final decision, that you say, you know what, I've been in and out, and then half committed too long, and make that decision. It's the best thing that I ever did. I remember there were several Easters when I was in my 20s where I was in and out of church and hurt and mad and everything else. But the best decision I ever made was when I said, God, I'm giving you everything, and I'm selling out to who you are and to what you've done for me, and I'm going to pour into other people. And so I really hope that this Easter you'll find that church that you're looking for, a good Bible-believing church that believes that Jesus Christ is Lord. And I hope that this Easter you'll make that a priority. Most churches on Easter, man, they do 15,000 different things, so I'm sure you'll enjoy it. But I hope that when you hear the word preached, that you'll make that final commitment. Backyard Life says, I'm working 12 hours a day for at least 21 days, so we didn't have anything. I hear you. Dixie Chicken says, have a blessed Easter because he lives. He does. He's not dead. Jesus rose from the grave, and he lives forevermore. He's at the right-hand side of the Father. And when we accept Jesus Christ and when we believe on him, the Holy Spirit dwells inside of us and empowers us to get through this life. Not just to get through life with drudgery, but to have life and to have it abundantly, to enjoy life. Doesn't mean that you don't get sad sometimes. It doesn't mean that you don't have hard times and that bad things happen. But we have the power to get through those things and get through those hard times. I'm so grateful you stopped by. I'm sorry for the delay tonight, but it is 10, and we used to have those 2-hour marathon talks, but I've learned it's better to keep it to around an hour. So I just want to thank every single one of you for stopping by, and I hope you'll stop by again. Again, my name is Bill Marion. You've been watching a Nose for Life live stream, And you guys have a fantastic evening. Thanks.